Hey, welcome to 209coach.com. I want to do a video for you today with Freddie Freeman. And this swing right here is a perfect swing to emulate or to apply if you're playing baseball or if you're playing softball. So I'm going to show you what he's doing and how simple his swing is. And I truly believe that if you at least apply part of what he's doing, I really think it's going to help you not only to hit the ball better, but see the ball better, get less strikeouts, and let's get started. Now, the first thing I want to show you here is this, okay? And if you watch my channel, you know how much I'm into making sure that when you set up, you have a comfortable setup. And I always talk about having your hands between the neck and the deltoid. And what this does for you, it allows you to, and you can see here where his hands are between the neck and the deltoid. It's very obvious. This allows you to be very relaxed with the arms. You can see right here that his arms are just very, very relaxed. And you can tell this because he has a lot of flexion in the arms, okay? Now, some players have their arms in a different manner. With him, you can see his back elbows up, but sometimes you see players with their back elbow down. Regardless, you can see here there's a lot of flexion in his arms. And again, the hands are between the neck and the deltoid. That will help you to just have a very balanced bat, a very relaxed arms, and just everything pretty much starting off the way you should, okay? Just very, very relaxed. Another thing you're going to see here with him right here, and I'm just going to draw a line right here, right in front of his face. Watch what he does. As he starts to get into the gather, he has a very simple move right here. All he does right here is he shifts a little bit into that back leg right here. And you can see as he's doing this right here, he gets the bat where it just basically drops. You see how he's dropping it? He's not getting into any pullback yet. This is crucial, okay? He's not getting into any pullback. He's basically putting the bat in a very comfortable position. You see this with Barry Bonds when he used to play. He kind of would drop the hands down like this. You see it with a lot of players in the MLB, okay? This gives you just a very kind of a nice, relaxed place to be at the apex of the gather. Now, watch what he's doing right here, and I bring this up in my videos at times. Watch how the front leg right here, he just lifts the front leg. The front thigh is just basically working up. What this does is allows you to stay back. It allows you not to lunge, okay? Now, this is very important because what happens with a lot of players is as soon as they start lifting the front leg, you see the head moving forward like in this manner. You see the lower body moving forward in this manner right here. And you do not want to do that, okay? You will start lunging. You will start having problems with seeing the ball. You'll start having a lot of other problems that cause you not to be a very good hitter. So right here, he's at the apex of the gather. Now watch what he does right here. So right now what he has right now, he has pretty much all his weight on his back leg. His hands and arms are very relaxed. Now watch what happens right here. All he does from here now, he just lets that front leg cover to toe touch. Okay, watch how simple this swing is. He lifts the leg and all he does is just gently brings it to toe touch. Okay, you notice he's not lunging and he's not doing anything other than just letting that front leg hover to toe touch. Another thing that's going on right here, pay attention to his belt buckle. Notice as he starts to hover that front leg forward right here, I'll put him pretty much at toe touch right here. Notice how his belt buckle went from pointing direct opposite side batter's box view to pointing more in the direction of the catcher. Okay, again, pay attention to what's going on here so you can kind of see it yourself. As he starts to get into his toe touch, what he's doing is he's letting that back pocket coil towards the pitcher. This gives him a lot of coil in the back leg, the back hip. This is going to allow him to get into kind of what I call a hip thrust. As he gets into a swing, watch this little move right here. Notice how his hips kind of thrust forward and his torso works back, okay? Again, like I mentioned earlier, watch how his hands kind of drop right here. Now watch what happens with the back elbow. Pay attention to the back elbow as he starts to hover that front leg forward. Notice how the back elbow starts to work back and behind him. Back and behind him. Now this right here is applied by getting your top hand. Kind of feel like you're pulling it behind your ear. behind your ear. This will give you a really nice angles right here. So in other words, once you get into this kind of a stage of your swing right here, you're going to have a kind of a shoulder to elbow look, where it's going to be pointing, if you're a left-hander, in the direction of the shortstop, if you're a right-hander, in the direction of the second baseman. Now another thing, like I just mentioned, I drew that line right in front of his head right here at the setup. Watch what happens here. He never gets in front of that line, okay? Again, this is what you see in the modern player. What you used to see years back, and even now you see it with a lot of Major League Baseball players. They kind of get their head moving way forward. In other words, you see where their head a lot of times is literally way out here. Okay, and then one thing I bring up all the time, if your head is moving forward or if your head is moving down and forward too much, it's like playing catch. You're going to have a very difficult time tracking the ball. It's going to be much more difficult to hit. So again, watch what he's doing right here. As he gets into a swing, the back elbow works back and behind him. And you can see here, notice the angle of his bat right here, okay? Notice how the bat now is pointing in a direction that is more towards the outfield, okay? So watch right here, it's pointing more in this direction. Watch what happens here. As we get into the swing, remember I told you he kind of just drops the hands. Notice the angle right here of his bat. So in other words, his bat is pretty balanced right here. As he starts to get into that toe touch where he hovers that front leg forward, you can tell now that pullback right now is just really, really good right here. Notice how nice his pullback is. So right here, he pretty much maximizes his load. Therefore, he's going to be able to let his hands work around the corner of the deltoid. That's a cause and effect. If you get into that pullback as you're moving forward, not before, watch this. The pullback starts to occur as he moves forward. Right here, he maximizes his load. What he does here, check this out, he's going to maintain the pullback. And the reason I know that is, watch how his hands work around the corner of the deltoid. Look at that hand path right here. Beautiful hand path right here. And notice again that hip thrust, that torso tilt, how his head stays back, and because of that pullback and everything that how he's using his lower and upper body. Watch how the lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth, and I talk about this all the time in my videos. This allows you to hit to and through the ball. To and through the ball. And again, I cannot emphasize this enough. If you are learning baseball or softball and you're a young player, get in the habit of always recording yourself. And what you should see, if you draw a line, when you are playing baseball or softball, your lead elbow should work up to the height of the mouth or above it, okay? Notice where his lead elbow is right here. It's right here. Notice where his mouth is. His mouth is right here. Now watch what happens as he continues to swing. You're going to see that the lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth or slightly above it. Okay, watch what's going on right here. And then from here, watch how the bat right there just works to and through the ball, to and through the ball. You cannot do this if your lead elbow is not working up to the height of the mouth. What I would highly recommend for you to do, if you really want to master this particular move, I would go ahead and literally hit balls off a tee, okay? Hit balls off a tee where the tee is right here, and you want to just kind of pause where your lead elbow is right here, your forearms right here. You should have kind of a look like this with the barrel below the hands, okay? Just stop right there and hit balls like this, okay? And then from there, you want to just get to a full extension. Now off the tee, you should be able to get to a full extension with both arms are fully extended just like this, okay, with the barrel below the hands. Now right here, he's getting a different kind of a pitch, but if you see Freddie Freeman with a pitch up the middle, or especially one on the outside, you're going to see both his arms fully extended with barrel below the hands. So in a nutshell, what I would recommend for you to do is, again, just get very relaxed, hands between the neck and the deltoid. Let that back pocket start to coil right here towards the pitcher. And again, just let your hands get to a very balanced place at the apex of the gather. As you start to hover your front leg forward, you want to make sure that the back elbow is working back and behind you. Maintain the pullback, maintain the pullback. Let the lead elbow work up to the height of the mouth as you're maintaining the pullback. Barrel below the hands, barrel below the hands, and then from there you want to get to a full extension with barrel below the hands and let that bat work up in an orbit. Watch the orbit. Okay, it works like a Ferris wheel. Okay, it doesn't work like a merry-go-round. This swing right here is a swing that I highly recommend for anyone to apply. It's very simple. It's powerful. Look how steady his head is. And then from here, all he does is just put his front leg forward very simply. And then look at the power. Thank you for watching. Please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone.